Peter Sacco. I volunteered for the draft. Got drafted. I had a good time for 2 years. And we made the most of it. I mean, I was basically, when I went in there, I was a typist. And I said, I can't do this. So I volunteered to be a door gunner. And, you know, they give you some training and stick you behind a machine gun. And I used to spend all day in the air flying and being a door gunner. We had our good times, and we had our bad times. You know, I'd get off a flight, and I'd grab two friends, you know, Jack Daniel and Johnny Walker, and I'd give one of them to the chaplain, and I'd keep one. And I think the chaplain became an alcoholic. I ultimately knew how to control myself, so, you know, and that was it. I was there for 11 months, 2 weeks in a day. I originally went to school at Clemson, and that's important because it was Clemson College, became Clemson University, and the commanding officer was a graduate of Clemson Military Academy when it was still a military academy. So I made sure he knew I went to school where you went to school. And when we were being discharged, he said, where do you want to be stationed for the next 6 months? I said, the West Coast. So I got stationed at the Los Angeles Induction Center, where we used to draft everybody. That was a thrill. You know, I met Jesus Christ a couple of times. You know, people would come in trying to get out of the draft. And I mean, you know, holes in the hands and everything else. Yeah. People in California are nuts. I was born in Newark, lived in Roseland. Actually, I was married, lived in the city for 32 years. And I was living in Gramercy Park for 10 years. How did I meet these guys? Oh, somebody I met in church who was a member of the Knights of Columbus and a member here. And he introduced me, and I wind up joining here and joining them at the Knights of Columbus. You know, we all had something in common, the Army. A number of us that also meant Vietnam. And I had some difficulty when I came back, as did most people, but I worked my way through it at the VA, and they were very helpful. Guilt. How to overcome the guilt that you may have. And it worked. I mean, because they tell you, you're never going to get over the guilt feelings, but you learn how to control them. And, you know, we had a couple of rough nights. I woke up one night smelling the smoke from the machine guns. You know, and I didn't know what to do. I mean, I'm looking around. Pull the pillow back over your head, you feel fine. I mean, I took advantage as a result of my spending time in the Army. I got an MBA and an MS. The MS was from Northwestern, and that's in International Monetary Policy. And then I had an MBA from St. John's. They offer a lot. You have to take advantage of it. The VA has been there to help people, you know, from day one. So it depends on you as an individual. You've got to say, hey, I have a problem. You know, how I got into a lot of their recovery programs is I found myself losing my temper. And I never lost my temper. So I called the VA one day. You know, and you get this phone call, you know, and did you ever consider suicide? I said, every time I call you guys, I consider suicide, you know, trying to get through your phone system. Like I said, when I came home, the first thing my father said to me is, what happened in Vietnam is between you and Vietnam. You don't talk about it to your mother. You don't talk about it to your sister. So I never talked about it. So now I'm getting to a point where I am having a real difficulty walking. Have their meetings upstairs. Enjoy, guys. I can go up a flight of steps. Coming down is close to impossible. Now I could at least come down. You know, it would, like I said before, it was, I wouldn't even attempt it. Now I have no problem. The stair lift is going to be in there.